Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash the bell. What's up, guys? This is the Debate Me channel with a quick update as my subscribers who managed to find me after the great delete, where YouTube deleted my channel. I'm still trying to get it back. It's been months now since they deleted my entire channel. Hundreds and hundreds of videos gone for nothing. I didn't violate any rules, but anyway. For those of you guys that have found me, you know that last year I went through a little bit of a difficult time. Remember, I posted that video, and I was really, really distraught at the time. I was basically waited, the short story is I waited a month for my start date for a new position, and that completely collapsed with no explanation given. I was, left out in the cold. End of the year, really, really bad time to just be sitting out there with all the uncertainty as well. This is, all this, the election stuff was going on, and the economy and pandemic. So very, very scary time. And going back before that, right in the middle of summer, just as things were getting really crazy, that is when my previous contract ended. So right as things started getting crazy, locking down, the insanity with the pandemic and the economy shutting down, I was out of work. So I kind of went through a really, really difficult time where, well, not then. Then I was fine. I had money saved up, and I was feeling optimistic about being able to find stuff. Definitely nervous about the economy, but I felt like, I got a lot of experience. I know what I have. It's what it takes. And I was getting good feedback. I was doing interviews, and I was like, all right, this looks pretty good. Kept getting close, really close. Just nothing panned out. Then I found this thing end of the year. That fell through at the last minute. I was devastated for weeks. I would say I was experiencing some level of depression. Fortunately, I'm not a drug person, but I can understand now from that experience how people start getting drunk, like becoming an alcoholic or whatever other drugs that they take, because I was moping around for a few weeks. Then I got out of that to where if you saw me and I engaged with you, you wouldn't know I was depressed, because I could joke around and hey, I was doing videos, so you guys saw the videos. I made a lot of videos in that time, and my energy was up. The thing is, there's different levels of depression. The depression that I had there was it's where you don't want to do anything in terms of constructive or productive. Like, I knew I needed to find work, and I was at great risk, and not even that was enough for me to go through even the basic steps. I wouldn't apply for work. I wouldn't study or do anything to prepare for work. I'm just posting video after video after video. Harry Knack, what up? Harry Knack knows what's up. But anyway, so I'm posting all these videos, and I'm just news. I'm addicted to news. What's going on now? What's happening next? Blah 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 blah. And I'm just so many times, all day long. News. Not looking for work. Not exercising. Start gaining weight. For me, it was really heavy. I got to 100 and almost 89, which is heavy for me. I think I should be 170 or so, 169 if I'm really working out. So that's what was going on. Anyway, I started coming out of the cloud this year. I would say January or so. I started getting my fight back, my mojo. And then I would say somewhere towards the end of January, and it was a constant struggle, right? Constantly fighting with myself. Listen, you've got to find something. This can't continue. Because what happened is last year it was fine because um, with unemployment, I was still going backwards, but only slightly backwards. And the money I was using was just, you know, whatever cash I had in my bank account. Now, most of my money I have in my retirement plan and stuff like that, or my investment accounts. So this was just money that I just had in my regular bank account that I would use to, do my day to day stuff. So it wasn't, it wasn't a particular, like this is my deposit on a home, or this is my retirement account. It was just extra money, right? So I was able to live off of, unemployment and then dipping into that a little bit. So not a big deal because I'm not touching my emergency funds. I'm not touching the critical stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I am going backwards, but not in a way that I'm really that worried about. But that ended. That ended maybe December or so. So what happened then was, that extra money was now gone. So now I was really dependent on unemployment. Um, and since unemployment is not enough, now you're on this sort of a the branch in the road where, are you going to dip into your, now you're dipping into your investment account or your retirement savings. That's where it's like, whoa. Because you spend a lot of time saving up for retirement, or building up an investment account or whatever it is, building up these reserves. To tap into them, that's brutal because this is years and years. It took years and years to build it up, and to start eating into that and going backwards. That's where it's like, okay, I don't mind whatever little money I had in my bank account. I don't mind spending that, but I'm not touching this stuff. I'm not selling my car and then taking the what equity I have, and then I'm not going there. And it was getting to a point where that was the next step. So what I ended up doing was I ended up, um, basically selling some things so that I could get out of, some small loans that I had. So basically, what that did is that cut back my cost of living drastically. I would say I cut my cost of living back by, maybe $800. That made all the difference. Cutting back $800, right? And then thanks to some of the stimulus stuff, I don't qualify for stimulus checks before or after, even though I only worked half of the year. Came close, came close, but no cigar. So the thing that I do get is the unemployment benefit. So unfortunately, I missed out on the initial $600. That would have been big. That would have allowed me to not go backwards, right? But now I think I'm getting an extra $300. It was $400. Now they've decreased it to $300 thanks to, people like Joe Manchin and whoever. Um, so, but that's fine because with that $800 reduction in cost of living, basically, the money I'm getting from unemployment is able to take care of everything. And that's just because I live pretty, frugally. I mean, I have my things I splurge on. I'm really into cars and motorcycles and stuff like that, but I'm not really. I'm at home, so I'm not really into that right now. So, other than that, that's it. I don't have a lot of expenses. So simply, closing out the loan that I had, and not having to make a car payment and stuff. So now I'm able to stop going backwards, even with the reduction of that, or whatever. But anyway, so that's my long drawn out story. Hope I don't run out of time here. I'm running out of time soon. And no. Anyway, so as I mentioned to some of you, I recently found something else because, as I was saying, as of end of January, beginning of February, I started getting my mojo back and I started really getting into it. I got back to the same place that I was the last time when I got that job that didn't fall through, that didn't come through. So I was right where I needed to be, very motivated. I've been very productive, getting stuff done, studying, applying like crazy, a lot of things in the works to where in the end, the result of that. So I came from that dark time and moping around and pulling my spirit back up, um, to ended up in a situation where I had two opportunities. I had one company, there was a delay. They were like, yeah, we want to hire you, but then there was some issue, and then they popped back up like a month later, and they were like, we want to move forward. Um, at the same time, I was really close to something else, which I really wanted because that other thing was contract. This thing was full time. Um, so I actually, for the first time in a long time, back in the day, that's how things were because I've always been a hard worker. Um, I mean, I started out my career 16-hour days, self taught, and I made a lot of sacrifices for a long, long time. And in the early days, I was able to write my own ticket. I mean, I would, increase my salary significantly, very quickly. I mean, 10, 20, $30,000 salary increase was not that big of a deal. Um, Multiple offers was not something that was strange to me, but that's because I was in high demand back then. That died over time. So it's been over 15 years since I've had a situation where I have two offers. Usually, what's been happening is whatever job I get, that was the only one. There've been good jobs. Don't get me wrong. I've had some good jobs that I've worked at, but the idea of me picking and choosing, no. I would say the last three jobs in a row, whatever job I had, like that was the only thing that I had going. This time I got two. And actually, because of what happened the last time, I ended up starting the process on one, waiting on the other one to actually make an offer. So I actually started going through the background check and all this kind of stuff, while at the same time waiting for the other company to make an offer. And then they actually did make an offer. So I actually ended up getting two offers, and basically getting two jobs. Now I'm obviously gonna let the other guys know that I found something else, but wow, what a turn of events. Start of the pandemic, ending a contract, out of work, uncertainty, you know, things dying down end of the year, finding something, being excited, so excited, having that yank from me week before my start date, then moping around, getting really depressed, and keep fighting and fighting and building that energy up and up and up until late January, early February, getting where I need to be. And I even went to one of the final things that I did to really motivate myself. I was like, because my thing was, I'm finding a job no matter what in a month. That's actually what I did. I gave myself a deadline. So think about this, months and months and months looking. And then I said, in a month. And I knew that was a crazy goal to have. But you got to push yourself, right? Because even if I didn't meet that goal, the fact that I was trying to do it meant that I really, really had to go hard, and that I did. And I accomplished it. It's been a month since I made that goal. But what I did is I said, if I don't find a job in a month, I was gonna buy the most embarrassing car ever, because I really love cars. So the idea of me, driving some old beat up whatever. I mean, for someone who's passionate about cars, that'd have been a pretty bad blow. So, but anyway, um, I got, and here is my setup, and I think someone's calling me from work. So anyway, I may not be making, I may not be, so just be aware that I'm gonna be super, super busy. I have new things to learn. I have certifications to get. I have to study for two of them. So anyway, all right, guys.